Well, thank you very much, Craig, the hostess with the mostest. I love and appreciate you. Let's all give Craig a little thumbs up and a nice little clap. He always orchestrates all this stuff, and I just need to show up. So thank you, Craig. I really love and appreciate you. And hello, Lisa Marie. Great to have you on here. Hi, Deborah Brana, Deborah Grady, Coach Bob, Michael and Angela, Ben, and of course my son, the empty chair along, along with Ezra. Hi, Dustin. Thanks for being on here. And my lovely wife, Terry. And so there's Melody. See, I probably couldn't even get going without Melody. So Melody, thanks for being on here. Love you, love you, love you, love you. So the title for today is the best gift you can give yourself. The best gift you can give yourself. And so one of the things that I would suggest is funny. As soon as I said the best gift you can give yourself, and then Matt on cue walks in with Ezra. There, that. Yeah, it is pretty interesting. So what I want to share with you here is just some really unique things that without saying anything more, I could just say, well, why can't you treat yourself the way you treat other people? So why can't you treat yourself the way you treat other people? And one of those is forgiveness. And I think about, Ezra's on here, not that we planned that, but, I try to think about being around Ezra, and God forbid this happens, but I'm ready for it, that, Terry wasn't available. And so Matt and Hannah asked me to watch Ezra. You know what I mean? And when I think about that, I'm trying to think, and grandparents get a lot of grief about this, right? It's like I'm trying to think what Ezra could do, and it makes me emotional saying it. I can't think of what he could possibly do that would upset me. I can't think of anything because there isn't any. Now, there might be some parents coming home, Hannah and Matt, and they might be seeing what I allowed Ezra to do, and they might be upset, right? You
No,
know what I
just
mean?
take him. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
but when you get older, I guess you get a little more, hopefully you get a little more calmer. But I'm trying to think of things that are in value. And I don't know if I don't know if I shared with you guys. I think I did. But Matt right now has a client named Drew. Oh, I know I shared this story. A very dear friend of mine before, crazy marketing and everything. We did martial arts together. We, played around with race cars together. We also worked as auto mechanics for Toyota together, on the Toyota research and development, kind of team thing. We are all certified, and it was really, really crazy because forever he could not even grasp the concept of being married and having kids. Just not a concept. But then what he did, I kept telling him how his whole life was going to change because he would say stupid shit. And I mean that. He would say, well, listen, right away, I need my wife to understand because she wants to have children, that she's raising the child. She's the one that wanted them. And then I got sections in the house that her or my child are not allowed in. It's like, hey, dude, just whatever you want to put in your head, just go ahead. And so he talks about this thing where he came home, and as soon as he came home, his son was standing at the door. I think he was like 2 or 3, and he was crying. And he goes, what's wrong? He said, I fell on my knees immediately, and I gave him a hug, and I said, what's wrong? And he said, you're going to be mad at me. I'm sorry. And he said, everything's going to be okay. So he grabbed him by, let his little boy lead him into his office where no one's allowed. And he had found scissors in a door, and he actually took scissors to the back of his leather chair. And so he said he looked at it and seen how upset his son was because he knew he was in trouble. And he goes, listen, this doesn't mean anything. And as I'm saying that story, I remind myself that, when Matt or Kyle or Hannah, is like not bragging, it's going to sound like I am, but my son Kyle just loved driving the Rolls Royce Ghost. He just loved it. And so Matt and Hannah had to go on an airplane flight someplace. I don't know where they were going. And so Kyle says, I'll get up early in the morning and take you. And so while they're driving, this deer comes out of nowhere, and it's not that he hit the front, it's he hit the side of the car.
The deer did.
The deer did. And so just ran, and instead of Kyle going in the ditch, he just missed him with the front.
Kyle did amazing. It was 4 a.m. in the morning, and the deer, like, we could have easily hit it, and it could have went through the
Finish telling the
windshield.
story.
Well, I mean, for me and Hannah, it was like super quick, but like for Kyle, I think we were all just super spooked. But then at the same time, we all realized like how lucky we were to not have it hit and come right over the windshield, because it's like
I said
it's
if
just
that
a
kid
totally
would
different
speed,
scenario when you're driving when that happens.
I said if that kid would speed, he would have missed that entirely. But the kid's on the speed limit.
Yeah, Kyle, my brother goes the speed limit, and so that's why
Yeah.
So if he would have been speeding,
Step on it a little bit.
if we would have been speeding, we might have hit the whole entire family. All right.
Yeah,
No,
there
I'm
we
just
go.
kidding.
There we go. But the point being is, Matt, I can remember, I don't remember which vehicle, but yeah, one of the Escalades or something, he pulled out and turned too sharp, and the fender, caught. And was it Hannah that tried?
No, I had to pull it into the garage, and you know how they put those poles to stop you from hitting the water heater?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hit the pole to stop me from hitting the water heater. So that's not a bad thing.
No.
I think the water heater would have been much worse. Yeah.
And didn't Hannah accidentally
Oh yeah, Hannah accidentally got the Malibu a couple times, and then I was going to pull into our garage one time with the Model 3 and hit the side of it on the edge of the garage. So like it was a fast turn. I'm just driving home after being home with hanging out with my family and stuff, me and Hannah, and so I get there quick and I go to do a faster turn and just clip the side of it on the side of the garage. Didn't hurt the garage at all, just hurt the car quite a bit, but the fender stayed on. So
yeah, but my point immediately is, how much do we make a big deal out of really nothing? I mean, I know that Matt right away goes, oh my God, I wrecked the Escalade. And I'm just like going, listen, are you okay? Are you all right? And it's like me and Terry, of course, we grew up over time. And, so now we just basically are like, hey, listen, if no one was hurt, we have insurance and it's a lease anyway. So we're getting another new vehicle in a couple of years anyway. Every 2 years we get to upgrade to a new lease. And so, what really seems to be a big deal to somebody is nothing to another person. Does that make sense to you guys? So why is it that we are so good, and I'm being brutal here, why are we so good at beating the shit out of ourselves? When if someone else came to us, or we heard a conversation with somebody talking to another person about the same stuff that we did, it would not even register. It would be like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Totally forget it.
Sorry.
Totally forget it. But when it's us, we put, I don't do things enough. I'm always, don't do it well enough. I'm this, I'm that. We just really, really, really beat ourselves up. And so the two thoughts that I would say all the time is, again, if would you think and talk, because you talk to yourself, would you think and talk to yourself like you, I mean, to a small child, would you talk to a small child like that, the way that you talk to yourself? Well, it seemed like I had to go around the block to get to that. A simple statement, just it just wasn't coming together, right? Because I'm watching as applauding. That's good. I'm impressed with myself. So the thing is that if you thought about your younger self, if you could go back to your younger self that wasn't treated well, right? That maybe told you some stuff like, hey, if you don't stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about. It's like, don't talk unless spoken to.
Aw.
Looks like Ben's moving out and he's just watching the Zoom. Great, Ben, it was great to see the family. But one of the things I want every one of you to do is that, the biggest gift that you can give yourself is to be kind to yourself. Also, be forgiving to yourself, to be understanding of yourself. How many of you could really, really go out of your way and sort of cut yourself a little slack a little bit? And then there's other things that are very, very important is to take moments to celebrate yourself. If you are very unique and no one else is like you, then why not treat it that way? Why not be very, very celebrative toward yourself? What we've lived through, what we've done. Because again, if you don't look at yourself as a miracle and you don't learn how to talk to yourself, you don't learn how to encourage yourself. Wow, this came full circle, Terry. Because Terry and I were talking last night about, she said you should do a whole video on like I am statements. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm happy, I'm powerful, I'm successful, I'm rich. And there's been a lot of things talked about that, because a lot of time we're so good at beating ourselves up that when we try to use affirmations, our brain just goes, liar, 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 you're stupid, stop doing this, you sound ridiculous. And I tell people, I remember the first time that someone told me that I was supposed to look in a mirror and I was supposed to say, I love you. And as you say, I love you, to look in one eye, then look in the other eye. And then say it again, then look in the other eye and look in the other eye. And it's like looking at yourself in the mirror, into your eyes, saying nice stuff about yourself. That should be the easiest and the funnest thing in the world to do. You should look forward to that time. Why don't we? Because we're so busy doing the other stuff to ourselves, right? And so it's always that we didn't do enough. It's not like, Terry and I were talking that Terry's all excited, to go see Ezra. And she's going, I bet you he's going to walk while I'm there. He's going to take and I was like telling her, yeah, probably, you know what I mean? And it's like, so, to have grandma there. So Matt, don't do anything to give him a chance to walk till Terry gets there. Okay. Because
trust me, he makes attempts on a daily basis. So
yeah.
He stands. I mean, he's standing right now over there.
Well, he definitely is a super stander. That's for
but
sure.
But the thing that comes to mind for him is he's like, I'll stand, I'll look around, but if I want to go over there, it's to the ground. you
Yeah,
know.
that drops to the ground. Yeah.
The corgis are like, I don't know what they're gonna do when he's higher than them. They're
And
so
running
used to
around.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he weighs about the same amount as Rue. So
Uh,
But I think that each and every one of you really, really get this, and you should really take the time to think about it. You know what I mean? I've done this exercise with people, when I do personal coaching, and I'll say to them very quickly, is I'll go, hey, do me a favor. I need to know the 5 things that are most important to you. And I said, so if you can, just rattle off 5 things that you really, truly, truly love. And they rattle those 5 off. And then I say to them, don't you find it interesting that you didn't put you on any of the 5? Ooh, Jim got that one. It's like, wow. So some people can say, well, I love my kids, I love my wife, I love my dogs, I love my grandkids. It's like, but I'm not in there. So that's the best gift that I could give to you is for you to see yourself as the way that your creator sees you. And if you don't believe in a higher power, then at least give a lot of gratitude and a gratitude and love to the Stardust. You know what I mean? So thank you, Stardust, for my random existence. I'm a great accident. you know, but it.
like Snoop Dogg. Thank you, Mom.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen that, but Snoop Dogg did a speech where he got his star on the Hollywood. I think it was that. Yeah, and so Snoop Dogg gets up there and he's going, I'd like to take the time to thank me. Yeah,
Did this.
I did.
That.
Yeah, I did the work. I kept. Yeah, it's like patting himself on the back.
He should.
And I know that some of you know that I love UFC. And so when Conor McGregor won his second championship, the first to do it, first fighter in history to carry 2 belts at the same time, 2 different weight divisions. And he's got them, and Joe Rogan walks up to him and he goes, hey, he goes, so you did it. And he goes, yeah, I'd like to take a moment to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. And some of you, get over yourself with the language because I just was repeating what he said. But do you guys get the point? It's like, hey, I'm not going to apologize for anybody for me having imagination. Again, we sort of did this for a while, but it actually came back in a video I think I seen yesterday. I just need to let every one of you know that I am extraordinary delusional on what we're going to do with unlimited wisdom. I am flat out delusional on the amount of people that we're going to impact, the amount of differences that we're going to make, how we're going to be a springboard for so many things that we don't even know are going to be here, right? So as it just continues to come to us. And the other part that I'll say really quick before we sign off here is another thing that I think is so important is when you talk about this, and believe it or not, I probably will do this on Master's Mind on Sunday because it's like I don't think any of us realize how freaking controlling we are. So if I said this phrase, let go and let God, for some of us, did you notice I put me in there? For some of us, letting go and letting God wouldn't even be even close to what we're doing every day. We're in our mind and our thoughts and overwhelm and frustration and confusing, planning every millisecond of our day. And if we don't plan it, then if something steps in that could be something, well, that's not allowed in the schedule. You know what I mean? That our schedule is just like, I'm doing this at this time, I'm doing this at this time, I'm doing this at this time. And if you really looked at that, what if and Deborah Grady has such a great heart and a sense of humor. So I know that she looks at criticism as something for thank you for looking out for me and helping me get better. But if someone was looking at your schedule and what you did every day, and then God looked at your schedule and said, if I wanted to just throw in something random, where would you like me to do it? And it's like, doesn't look like there's any room for you during the day. But, see, I would use the but word. I would say the but word. But do you see where I segmented time for you here? Do you see where I segmented time for you here? Do you see? See, I would say if I was approached with that, well, listen, hang on, God, look at the time that I'm spending. And it's like, but no spontaneous time. Where would you allow me to interrupt you? Where would you be open to hearing from me? You ask for my help and you ask for my guidance to light your path to where you need to go, to do stuff that are maybe mistakes. But you're so stuck in your schedule of doing things when you do it, there's no spontaneous time for me. Good? That's a trailer or a preview for Sunday. So what we do sometimes is there really isn't no peace. There's really no joy. Where is the peace and joy and happiness and our day-to-day journey to love having the journey, that we're happy in having the journey, that we just follow spontaneous, call this person, listen to this person, go to this person, go do this, go do that, go do this. And I know that some of you experience this where all of a sudden out of nowhere, you'll think of a name of somebody. But when you think of a name of somebody, do you drop everything you do and contact them immediately? I'll tell you, most times I don't. It's like God is nice enough to me where he reminds me again, and he reminds me again, and then he reminds me again, and then I connect. Right? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's like, so when if I leave a message for you, it's like, hey, Deborah, I'm reaching out because you've been on my mind and my heart for the last couple of days. And maybe Deborah's thinking in her mind, well, if you would have called at 2:30 my time on Tuesday, that's when I needed you. That's probably I could have really used you at 2:30 on Tuesday, but you found something better to do than do what God told you to do. I know I'm getting too big into Sunday now, but I just, if you guys notice, I'm doing my very, very best to allow the words to come to me because I really, really just look at that higher power as being fun. And I know that higher power looks at me like I look at Ezra. And so unconditional love, just awe, just of everything that I'm doing. Matt sent us a picture today, and all he was doing is just like staring at something, and he had his arms crossed like this. And it's so funny when you see the size of his hands. For me, to see the size of his hands and his I gotta download this quick. I think you guys would love it, not to just hear about it. Okay. This is what Terry and I get to look at all the time. But is it just me, or the size of his hands and his arms look just look awesome. See, I wouldn't say looks big. I wouldn't say look, like anything. It's
He's
just it looks like
the chunkening always happens before the walking, so we're trying to get him as chunky as possible. So he's got rolls on his knees and everything like that.
hey, every baby does. But
I was
it's
gonna say
like
with his hair, he looks like He-Man. We were saying he looks like He-Man lately.
yeah, he does. He looks like Thor or whatever when their fists are big and their forearms are big.
Yeah,
It's like
that's why we got these muscle shirts. He's a beefy boy now.
Sweet.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, think of things each and every day that you can put into your routine to start treating yourself with love and forgiveness and kindness and just that you should look at yourself as a miracle, or like the perfect example that we did today. If somehow, I'll leave you with this, if there was some way that you could think about yourself the way that Terry and I think about Ezra, how better would your life be? Because when you get up, maybe the very first thought that you have instead of gratefulness is you get up and you're like, I didn't sleep good because I shouldn't have done this last night and I stayed up too late. I should have got off my tablet or my phone. So my rest is messed up. So now my day's screwed up. And it's like immediately you just start, now I'm starting late. You know what I mean? And it's like, I should have already done this. So you just go through the whole entire day just beating the shit out of yourself, one thing after another. And it's like, I'm behind on this. I should have had this done already. And why am I messing up with this? And, I didn't do enough sales. And it's like, Coach Bob's in there, so it's like rapid fire, just kicking yourself in the groin. You know what I mean? And it's like, you're supposed to be happy all day. So let's be kind. Let's be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. And I hope that message came through well. And again, shout out to Craig for he's like, hey, I ran across this thing you did a couple of years ago. I think it'd be a good subject. So Craig, thank you very much. I love and appreciate you. You want to tell people how much you love yourself?
I don't do a lot of what you were just talking about.
What?
I
Oh,
don't beat up myself.
she does not.
Ever.
She doesn't beat herself up.
Listen, I'm good with how I am. I don't know a lot of this stuff. I just don't do that. So
Isn't that cool? She goes from Leave It to Beaver family to me adoring her. You know what I mean? So she just
my hair turns out the way it turns out that day. You know what I mean? I just don't overthink shit. Some things I overthink, but a lot I just off a duck's path.
No, that and my younger brother Kyle's similar in that way. So like
Yeah.
I think in a lot of ways, I'm trying to get more like you guys.
yeah.
So I think a lot. So like what I tend to do is like last night I was up just working, thinking, all kinds of cool stuff though.
Yeah. Well, Matt, I think you're cool shit.
Oh, thanks. I think the same about you.
I'm a pretty good person, and I help people in the grocery store, and I'm nice. Unless you're not nice to me, then that
Everybody's
I
good
know
people
where
here.
Terry's got like a neat little thing that I don't even think she does. But Terry's not one of those polite people, and if you were one of these people, I'm not saying anything negative to you. But it's like Terry doesn't do like 40 selfies a day.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? So Terry doesn't ever put herself out there on social media so people can just hammer on her all day.
Give him the finger emoji. Shit. I don't fucking care. You don't like my hair? You think I should color it? Go fuck yourself. I don't care. They would get the finger emoji for sure from me.
But I think you guys are getting it. So I love and appreciate you. Have an incredible Friday. Thank you for being on here, Faith, Melody, Dustin, Lisa Marie, Deborah Bronner, Deborah Grady. I love you guys. Coach Bob, not so much. Uh, Ow! I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Michael and Angela, Ben. He's like, hey, me and Bob got this neat little friendship thing we do. We would have been best friends in sports, but we would be the best friends or doing practical jokes on each other all the time. So bye, Ezra. Craig, hostess with the mostest. I hope I said goodbye to goodbye to Ben. But love you guys.